Over the years, Cha Eunwoo stood at the peak of popularity as a symbol of visual perfection, talent, and an almost flawless personality. He is a figure that makes the public feel as if they know him closely, but at the same time it feels impossible to reach. Every gesture is highlighted, every smile analyzed, and every small interaction with the opposite sex often turns into a long speculation about who the woman who will one day fill his heart. The public is guessing, the media is hooking up, fans are arguing long. But in the midst of that frenzy, a statement coming from the most unexpected direction slowly changes the map of conjecture. The mother, not a gossip, not an entertainment analyst, not an industry watcher, but rather the closest voice to Cha Eunwoo since he hasn't been known to anyone. And from there came new facts that made many people ask, has the public really guessed wrong all this time? Cha Eunwoo's name has always been synonymous with the image of a dream woman who is perfect by the standards of the entertainment industry. Beautiful, elegant, highly educated, well-established career and able to walk in parallel on the red carpet. Not a few believe that the woman of his dreams must be from among celebrities, or at least someone who is familiar with the camera spotlight. The conjecture feels plausible. Eunwoo lives in a world where image and reputation are currency, where a life partner is often an extension of a personal brand. But the mother, in a conversation that later spread widely, actually opened up a very different point of view, even contrary to the public's shadow so far. According to her mother, Cha Eunwoo has never been obsessed with outward appearance since childhood. He grew up as a child paying more attention to one's attitude and the way one treats others. He is not the type to be lured away just because of beauty or popularity. In the mother's confession, there was one sentence that later became the center of attention. He always said, "The one who makes him feel calm is much more interesting than the one who makes him admire." That simple sentence seems to break a lot of old assumptions. Calm, not sparkling. Peace, not sensation. A criterion that sounds so human, yet is rarely associated with a big star like Cha Eunwoo. The mother recounted that since adolescence, Eunwoo showed a tendency to seek emotional depth. He likes to talk about little things rather than engage in a long conversation. He appreciates plain honesty, even if it is conveyed in a simple way. In the mother's view, her son's dream woman is not a figure who always knows what to say in public, but someone who dares to tell the truth even when it makes her look ordinary. This confession immediately made the public wonder why this image had barely appeared in discussions about Cha Eunwoo before. During this time, whenever Eunwoo was caught on camera with a woman, speculation always led to status, background, and social class. Is she a famous actress? Is it a top model? Did he come from a respectable family? But the mother, on the contrary, emphasized that her son grew up in a family that upholds simplicity. He was taught to respect everyone regardless of background. He was always more interested in how someone treated others who were weaker, the mother said. For him, it is an indicator of character that is much more important than any achievements. The statement sparked great reflection among fans. Many begin to recall small moments that may have been missed. The way Eunwoo treats the staff on set, how he always bows politely to the crew, how he looks most comfortable when talking about family and everyday life. It feels like a puzzle piece that has finally found its place. That behind the perfect visuals and the image of a global star, there is a man who craves a simple and sincere relationship. The mother also revealed that Cha Eunwoo values emotional privacy very much. He is not the type to open his heart easily, not because he is cold, but because he wants to make sure that the people he trusts really understand his world. A world full of pressure, expectations, and endless highlights. In this context, the dream woman for him is someone who is not intimidated by his fame, but also does not make him the center of life. A person who has his own world, his own dreams, and the determination to remain himself. This again invalidates the old assumption that the Eunwoo couple should always be ready to appear in public. Quite the contrary, the mother emphasizes that her son feels most comfortable with people who are not hungry for attention. He loves meaningful silences, small moments without a camera, and conversations that don't need to be announced to the world. For Eunwoo, love is not something that needs to be proven to the public, but rather something that is kept in the most private circles. In a more personal confession, the mother told her about Eunwoo's habit of coming home when her schedule allows. He sits in the kitchen, helps with the little things, and talks about his day in a very simple way. From it, the mother saw clearly that her son longed for a normal life, away from the spotlight. And therefore, anyway, the woman of his dreams is someone who is able to help him stay on the ground, not lift him higher into the sky of fame. The public began to ask, have they been pushing the narrative too much? Are the assumptions about a glamorous and perfect woman actually at odds with the values Cha Eunwoo held from the beginning? This new fact revealed by the mother seems to be a mirror for the entertainment industry and fans, that idols are still human, with emotional needs that are often far from public expectations. Interestingly, the mother also alludes that Eunwoo doesn't like relationships built on image. He wants to be loved as himself, not as the Cha Eunwoo that the world knows. This is an important point that has rarely been discussed. Behind a smile that always looks perfect, there is fatigue that does not always appear. There is pressure to always look ideal. And in the midst of all that, the ideal woman for him is someone who is able to see him as a child, as a friend, as an ordinary man, not just an idol. Public reaction to this recognition was mixed. Some were surprised, some felt enlightened, some felt more and more respect for Eunwoo. Many fans admitted that they now understand why Eunwoo has always been so careful in personal matters, why he rarely gives hints, why he always avoids excessive clarification. All of that now feels consistent with the image of a man who values depth and serenity. In the context of Korean culture, which is still very respectful of the role of parents, the mother's voice has its own weight, not as a determinant of his son's life, but as a witness to his emotional journey since childhood. What he reveals is not an imaging strategy, but rather a reflection of the family values that shape Cha Eunwoo today. And perhaps, therein lies the truth that has so far escaped the spotlight. In the end, this new fact about Cha Eunwoo's dream woman doesn't answer the question, who, but rather what it looks like. Not a name, not a face, but a character. A reminder that behind the glittering world of entertainment, love is still a very personal affair. And perhaps the public has been guessing wrong all this time, not because of lack of information, but because it is too fixated on the shadow created by fame. Now, after the confession of the mother, one thing became clearer. Cha Eunwoo's dream woman is not someone who has to meet the expectations of the world, but someone who is able to share silence, honesty, and a sense of security. And for many, this fact actually makes it feel more real, more human, and perhaps more loved than ever. The continuation of the mother's confession about Cha Eunwoo actually opened up a deeper layer of emotion, which had previously been barely touched by any news. He said that his son realized long ago how easy it is for people to fall in love with an image, not a person. Because of this, Eunwoo grew up with a heightened awareness of relationships that came too soon, too intense, or too filled with empty admiration. In his view, admiration is pleasant, but not enough to sustain a long-term relationship. It seeks something more quiet yet powerful, a sense of mutual understanding without the need for much explanation. The mother reveals that Cha Eunwoo is the type who is easily touched by small things. A simple, considerate, honest sentence spoken without the intention of impressing or empathizing with others actually leaves a deep impression on him. This is the side of Eunwoo that is rarely seen publicly, as the camera always captures the neatest and most controlled version. In fact, in the private sphere, he is someone who is sensitive and easily harbors feelings. And because of that, too, the woman of his dreams is not someone who demands, but who is sensitive to reading his emotional exhaustion.